Good morning, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich again, back for your first video blog of the day for Tuesday, June 14, 2016, around 6:53 in the morning in Billerica, Massachusetts. It's about 55 degrees outside today. High temperature is going to be about 75, a perfect 10-day for New England this year. Still a little bit breezy. Some news to report. The Cleveland Cavaliers forced to Game 6 of the NBA Finals by beating the Golden State Warriors by a score of 112-97. The series moves back to the Quickie Loans Arena for Game 6 Thursday night on ABC. And the Anaheim Ducks are going to announce that Randy Carlyle is going to be their new head coach. This will be the second tour of duty for Randy Carlyle as coach of the Anaheim Ducks. It's Happy Flag Day in the United States, Happy World Blood Donor Day, and Toronto Raptors star DeMar DeRozan has opted out of his contract and will be set to be a free agent July 1st. And that's about it on news. My first video blog subject of the day is about the former professional wrestling tag team, the Heavenly Bodies. The Heavenly Bodies were a tag team that was in the mid-1990s. They were the Doctor of Desire, Tom Pritchard, and Sweet Stanley, and later on, the Gigolo Jimmy Delway was added to the mix. And they were managed by James E. Cornette, Jim Cornette. The Heavenly Bodies were formed in 1992 in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, one of the last regional territories in professional wrestling, which was run by Jim Cornette. And the Heavenly Bodies at that time were consisted of Sweet Stanley and the Doctor of Desire, Tom Pritchard. They were managed by Jim Cornette, and they were such a hit in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. They immediately became the Smoky Mountain Tag Team Champions. And they had a feud with the Fantastics, Bobby Fulton and Jackie Fulton. They had some long, great matches with them all over the Smoky Mountain circuit. And they also feuded with the Batten twins, Spot and Brad. But the most legendary feud that the Heavenly Bodies had was with the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson. The Heavenly Bodies and the Rock and Roll Express traded off the Smoky Mountain Tag Team Champions many, many times. Their feuds spilled into WCW, and the Heavenly Bodies and Jim Cornette challenged the Rock and Roll Express to a match at WCW Saturday night in February of 1993. It was an impromptu match, but Bobby Eaton interfered, and he aligned himself with the Heavenly Bodies. And at Super Bowl Brawl 3, the Heavenly Bodies and the Rock and Roll Express had a great tag team match. But their working arrangement with WCW was short-lived because Bill Watts was fired as vice president of WCW operations, and it was a working agreement. Eventually, in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, Stan Lane lost a Losers Leave Town match to Ricky Morton, and he was eliminated. He was replaced by the Heavenly Bodies by the Gigolo Jimmy Delway, who was a Ackley wrestler in the dying days of Championship Wrestling from Florida, using the nickname Jimmy Backlund, and he was billed as Doctor of Desire, Tom Pritchard's first cousin, but they weren't really related in real life. It was just a wrestling gimmick. And the Heavenly Bodies, continued continued to feud with the Rock and Roll Express. They had used the flapjack as their finishing maneuver, and in July of 1993, Jim Cornette signed with the WWE, and Smoky Mountain Wrestling and WWE had a working relationship, and the Heavenly Bodies went to the WWE, and they feuded with the Steiner Brothers over the WWE Tag Team Championship. They had a classic match at SummerSlam 1993. Also, the Steiner Brothers wrestled the Heavenly Bodies in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and that match was pretty good. The Rock and Roll Express continued to feud with the Heavenly Bodies. They had a match at Survivor Series 1993 for the Smoky Mountain Tag Team Championship. It was the first time a non-WWE title was defended at the pay-per-view. The Heavenly Bodies won by beating the Rock and Roll Express. They had a long-running feud that continued on into 1994. And once in a while, the Heavenly Bodies would wrestle for the WWE just for TV tapings, and they were actually kind of a jobber tag team. And also, the Heavenly Bodies wrestled for Japan, and they had matches with the Gangsters and PG-13. And the Heavenly Bodies, had a feud with the Smoking Guns in the WWE in the fall of 1994. A TV match. The Heavenly Bodies beat the Smoking Guns up, and they destroyed their hats, but the Smoking Guns ripped off the wings of the Heavenly Bodies robe, and they feuded on and off on house shows. Heavenly Bodies lost those matches, so they were basically jobbers in the WWE. While in Smoky Mountain, they were the tag team champions, and they actually continued on Smoky Mountain and WWE for about a year and a half, and then the Heavenly Bodies went to USWA to feud with PG-13. Eventually, Smoky Mountain Wrestling folded, and the Heavenly Bodies, minus Jim Cornette, were in ECW for a time in 1995, and they were part of Raven's Nest, with Raven and Stevie Richards and Blue Meaning and Beulah McGillicuddy, among others. The Heavenly Bodies had a feud with the Public Enemy, and it was a decent feud, but the Public Enemy won. The Heavenly Bodies were disbanded in the late 1995 when Tom Pritchard went back to the WWE, this time full time, and he dyed his hair and he became Zip of the Body Donners, and he was a crew cut like his fictitious brother Skip. And Heavenly Bodies were a great tag team. With the best version of them was Doctor of Desire Tom Pritchard and Stan Lane, because Stan Lane was a ring veteran, and it was good to have a feud with the Rock and Roll Express. The Gigolo Jimmy Delay version with Tom Pritchard was okay, but basically they're known more for jobbing on WWE TV and house shows than being the Smoky Mountain Tag Team Champions. They should have gotten a bigger push in the WWE. They should have gotten the WWE Tag Team Championship for a couple of times. But those things happen. And that's about it on the Heavenly Bodies. And I'll be back later, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google Plus with 2 more video blogs. One will be about my take on cord cutting. That means many people eliminating cable television to watch television on services like Netflix, Hulu, and other video services. And third and final video blog of the night will be about LA Clippers star player Chris Paul, the president of the National Basketball Association Players Association. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Button guy. Molly Rosenblatt of WCCO has nice legs. Elizabeth Hatch so stunning. She's the best. Amy Swansea so awesome. Lynn Church of WPIX Channel 11 in New York is such a cougar. She's got nice legs. Bobby Gibbs of ABC 11 has a sweet southern accent. And in the words of Dr. Thomas Sharkey, former principal of BMHS, this action will not be tolerated at BMHS. Have a good day, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. Bye now.